What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another episode of NBA Weekly. I'm your host, Pee Wee the Plug, and in today's episode, we have to talk about what's next for the Golden State Warriors. So as everyone knows, Jordan-Poole and Draymond Green have had their situation. It's been a topic of discussion over the last week or so. Started off as something small. We didn't understand what really went on. Then a couple days after that, the video leaked and everything went haywire. And since then, we've been all trying to figure out what's going to be the next steps for the Golden State Warriors. Well, last night, we found out that Draymond will be rejoining the team tomorrow. They do plan on him playing in the home opener on Tuesday. And other than a fine and his leave away from the team for a couple of days, there's really no major consequences after that besides him having to rebuild the trust with the organization and his teammates. But he's not going to be suspended. The fine is something that's going to gloss over because we know he's a multimillionaire that's making $20-something million this year. So they'll just come and go. They're just going to try to push forward. And Steve Kerr had a press conference yesterday where he had some quotes. He said the culture has been damaged. This is the biggest crisis that the Warriors have had since Steve Kerr has been the coach. And that Green broke our trust, but we're willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. He also says that Steph Curry has been working extremely hard behind the scenes for both parties, making sure everything's good and that they're pushing forward between Jordan-Poole and Draymond Green. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be extremely honest with you. Those are strong messages and statements from Steve Kerr. But my thing with the Warriors is that the actions that they're giving don't match those words. So to say that the culture has been damaged, to say that this has been the biggest crisis that they've had since Steve Kerr has been the coach, and to say that Green broke our trust, but we're willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, it just doesn't match the actions. If someone has brought upon y'all in the organization the biggest crisis y'all have had, how is he not suspended? How is the only consequence he has a fine that he won't even recognize when it leaves his bank account? Again, I am a fan of Draymond Green. I do understand the importance and the value of Draymond Green to the Golden State Warriors, but I have to start looking at the Golden State Warriors and having them hold themselves accountable as well, because I think a lot of Draymond Green's actions and how he portrays himself and carries himself throughout some of these situations he's had with the Warriors is partly their fault. Because he has these type of situations and all they do is slap him on the wrist. If you're telling me a player that's as important as Draymond to the team comes out and does something like this, the only consequence is you fining him, that's hard for me to believe. I also have to think about Jordan-Poole and all of the other teammates in that locker room when you guys just do a petty slap on the wrist. Now, again, I'm not in these meetings. I'm not in those hallways or in those discussions. There is a world where Jordan-Poole is communicating to the Warriors. Just bring them back. The quicker we get over this, we could just move on. I'm cool. I'm good. I just want to hoop. Yada, yada, yada. Especially Jordan-Poole knowing that his extension has been reported to be on the table and that they can come to agreement sometime next week. Jordan-Poole is going to be a $100 million man. So I'm sure his attention is really on that. You know what I mean? As bad as the punch was and probably an embarrassing moment for him, the $100 million is going to make everything just wash over potentially for him. I'm just using what I would think. If I was in that situation, yeah, initially I'm probably pissed. It's probably like, whatever. Or maybe him and Draymond are tight like that where Jordan-Poole is just like, damn, we let that get far. It's over. It's cool. But I'm telling you right now, you also tell me that the next week I'm about to get 100+ M's. Oh, this situation is definitely behind me. So I'm taking that into consideration for sure. But again, it's just like, when are the Warriors going to make an example out of Draymond Green for him to get the message? Like in my first video when I addressed this, there has been plenty of situations Draymond has been involved in since the start of this dynasty, whether it's the LeBron James kick in the groin and he gets suspended and now they lose the series on a 3-1 comeback, whether it's the Kevin Durant situation where he just took it too far in that situation and he didn't help to keep Kevin Durant there. Kevin Durant was possibly out the door anyway, but he just made it easier for Kevin Durant to leave. Even the whole interview with Kevin Durant saying Bob Myers in the front office effed everything up and he told them they would F it up and they should have listened to him. And it's just that Draymond has all of these different things where it's kind of like, bro, chill out just a little bit. And I feel like the Warriors, they never have the answer on how to send the message or make an example out of his actions. And that's how Draymond continues to find himself in situations where it's like, man, he can do whatever the hell he want to do. There's also this situation where it can get a little sticky because Draymond's mom, who is a grown woman, you know what I mean? She's a grown woman. No matter what Draymond can tell her what to say, she's going to do whatever the hell she want to do. I have a mom. We all know how moms go. They going to protect their sons and any of their kids, but especially their sons, and nobody's going to tell them what to say when they want to say it. And Draymond's mom was on Twitter and basically said that wasn't a sucker punch. Dre didn't aggressively go to Poole. His hands were down. Man to man, you go over to talk, to ask what's up, what you say. He got shoved and reacted. End of story. The reason that this is a problem is because Draymond did exactly what I thought was necessary for him to do. Went on that podium. He answered every question. He apologized. He was genuine. He was sincere. He didn't make any excuses for himself. There were certain parts where he could have, and it felt like he maybe wanted to, but he remembered that's not even necessary. Certain questions were asked to him about this, that. He was like, yo, if I answer that question, it would make it seem like I'm making an excuse for myself, and I'm not here to do that. I'm just owning up to my mistake. All the rest of that is irrelevant. What I did was wrong, and that's just the end of the story. And that was good to see. That was the right step in the right direction. But for his mom to come out and put a tweet out like this, I think it potentially could do a little damage, potentially. Because if you're Jordan Poole or Jordan Poole's family, like Draymond said in his interview, you have to think that far. You have to think about that part where it's not just Jordan Poole, it's his mom, it's his dad, it's his family who's seen that, it's his family that's going to be in his ear and who he's talking to and the people around him. For Draymond to go up there and own that and apologize and do all of those right things at the podium, for his mom to come out and say this, and it kind of goes against what Draymond was saying, it can have people look at Draymond's interview now less genuine. It can make people think Draymond went up there and said the right things to get the heat off of him and to just move forward, but he didn't really mean it. And I think the most important thing about Draymond's interview and everything he's going to do going forward is that people have to believe that it's genuine and that it's what he believes and what he wants to do. They have to think Draymond really believe he's wrong. They have to believe that Draymond really is sincerely apologizing and taking ownership in something that he did. They have to really believe that. And if Draymond's mom, probably one of the closest people to him, is his wife, his mom, and other immediate family members, if she's coming out and saying that, it can make people believe that this is how Draymond feels as well. It would not be far-fetched to believe that hypothetically, if I'm Jordan Poole's brother or his bestest friend, and I say, man, JP, you saw that? Yeah, man, that's probably Draymond. She probably getting that from Draymond. Like, she probably heard Draymond tell her the story, and he probably told her that's what happened. Like, it's more to the story. She even has another tweet where she says, they can get beyond this, which is definitely true. Anything is fixable, even truer. Everything ain't always what you think you see. And that last part, again, goes against the sincerity and the apology and the accountability Draymond was displaying at the podium. The last part, everything ain't always what you think you see. Those are the type of things Draymond was trying to stop and make sure he wasn't saying at the podium, because that little part makes it to believe that Draymond did what he did for a reason that was valid, that can make it justifiable. And I think that's a dangerous part of it. Now, again, Draymond could not feel like this. Draymond could have told his mom that's not how he feels. But Draymond's mom is definitely a grown woman who's going to do whatever the hell she want to do. So I'm not saying that this is how Draymond feels, or that's what went on, or this is the story Draymond told his mom. But I'm just saying the effect it could have when you're trying to rebuild trust in a locker room with teammates, especially young teammates, and a person who was actually involved and hurt by the situation, which was Jordan Poole. You even get quotes from Kevon Looney. He says about Draymond Green, he has some work to do to regain our trust. So in the process of trying to regain the team's trust and to move forward, statements like that and tweets like that from his mom, which she later, I think, disabled her account, they said, which I hope is not because people was going too far in the comments. You know, Twitter can be just a very strange place morally for some people. You know, at the end of the day, that's someone's mother. So even if you disagree, there's a certain way to communicate the disagreement or whatever. I didn't see the replies or anything like that, but I did see that she disabled her account. In the process of regaining the trust of your teammates, those type of statements can make the steps you take forward bring you back. And I'm very curious to see how they're going to do this going forward. The Warriors can come together and win off the first 7 games of the season. Draymond and Poole can be hugging and laughing, and they can brush us under the rug. But I'm thinking about the future, right? Because it's going to come to a place where Jordan Poole is going to have to answer questions about this. There is going to be, you know, certain people in the organization that ain't going to like the way that they handled it, and they may feel like, man, y'all just gave him a slap on the wrist. And then it's that part where Draymond and the Warriors have to come to a contract agreement. Are they going to sweep it under the rug and act like it's kumbaya until the contract comes back up? Because I get a feeling that the Warriors could probably use this in contract negotiations. Hey, Draymond, you know, you're in your mid-30s, probably not the same player you was. You do have value to us, but maybe not max value. And then it's like if Draymond is like, nah, I need the bag. I'm going somewhere else. Does it get back messy? Does real feelings come out then? You know, are things being leaked? Were the leaked by the Warriors to use that as leverage in the contract? It's so many different variables that it's like the Warriors trying to just sweep this under the rug and make it like quick and easy. In the long run, it could be something that can come back up and cause some hectic tension going forward. It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. They're still going to have a very talented team. I think all parties need each other. I do believe that the Warriors need Draymond, but I think as much as the Warriors need Draymond, Draymond needs the Warriors. I personally, as a Draymond fan, I really don't have any desire to see him on any other team. I really, really don't. But I do know that the Warriors are deep. They do have decisions to make, as Bob Myers has said. Jordan-Poole got to get his bag. Wiggins got to get his bag. And Draymond has to get paid. But I've seen reports where they say Draymond is the least on a priority. He's a priority, but they want to make sure they tie up Jordan-Poole. They're going to want to make sure they pay Andrew Wiggins. And there's even a report that, hey, if Draymond don't get what he wants, he low-key want to go to the Lakers. I've seen that as well. And you see the relationship him and LeBron has. The Lakers definitely could need Draymond Green. You have the Russell Westbrook situation where his contract is going to leave their books. I think they got a bunch of short-term deals with a lot of the other role players. Money could potentially open up. So you have to start thinking, how long is this relationship going to last? And if brushing these things under the rug and trying to quickly go over it is going to play a part in that down the road. I think a lot of this is going to fall on how successful the Warriors are. Obviously, if the Warriors repeat, a lot of this may just go in thin air, and it may just be a crazy situation and a crazy story that happened at the beginning of a year to another championship where they went back-to-back. Winning solves everything, especially winning a championship. But winning enough games to make the playoffs and get an early exit, especially if the exit is ugly, it won't solve much. Like, if I can imagine if the Warriors were in the second round of the playoffs and Draymond is not playing his best basketball, he's not looking his best, it could definitely get ugly. It could definitely get ugly because then the Warriors are definitely not going to give him his money. Then you add in this situation, and we know Draymond wants his bag. And if everybody's getting the bag except Draymond, I don't know. But all in all, I wish the Warriors would have made a stronger message. I wish they definitely would have had a more severe consequence. I'm not saying that they needed to, suspend him half the season or anything crazy, but he definitely should have missed a couple games. Not only does that send a message to him, it sends a message to the locker room and says, hey, as much as we respect, love, and value Draymond Green, his actions are going to have to pay a price. He can't just do whatever he wants to do. He can't say whatever he wants to say. He can't act any way he wants to act because he's valuable to us. Every player in this locker room has to be held accountable. And I think that message would have been a lot stronger than a little slap on the wrist where you go up to the podium, you tell us what you think you want us to hear. You put Jordan-Poole in a situation where he has to just be like, yeah, I'm with it. You can bring him back. Because Jordan-Poole doesn't want to be the guy that's like making Draymond get suspended. I'm sure he don't want to be in the front office meetings like, man, no, you have to suspend him or I'm not going to be comfortable. You know what I mean? He's trying to get his $100 million. He's not trying to put the franchise in a me or him situation. No, he's a young player, just won a championship. He's 23, about to get $100 million. He don't want to be dealing with this shit. So, of course, he's just like, man, let's just get over it. You know what I mean? Like, this video leaked. I'm trying to get this shit away from my name as fast as I can. So, it's like, but the organization has to make stronger statements when it comes to Draymond Green. You know what I mean? Like, we get it. He's valuable. He's been a part of the dynasty. Going on too far. And I think this is a line that has been crossed that, like Steve Kerr said, it could damage the culture. And if the culture can't be rebuilt from it, looking back, what did y'all do to make sure a statement was made? Virtually nothing. So, y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. I know it's a lot of Golden State Warrior fans that watch my stuff. As a Golden State Warrior fan who probably loves Draymond like I do, but probably loves the team as well, what message do you think would have been better for the Warriors to send? Or do you think this was enough? Does anybody believe that this is going to be a big deal? Are there people out there that thinks, nah, this is in a couple months, the Warriors will be winning games. They're going to be on fire. This won't even be a thing. Is anybody out there that truly believes this is the last season for Draymond Green? Please let me know, because I know it's a lot of opinions to go on with this. So please let me know in the comments. Definitely leave a like if you're new. Subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm Pee Wee the Plug. This is NBA Weekly. I'm out. Peace.